A narcissist is a spectacularly selfish individual, super selfish, world-class selfish. Everything he thinks, feels, and does focuses on one goal: to protect and please himself. That's the core feature of narcissism, unbelievable selfishness. It's always and forever about him. Here are some other features, briefly, of narcissism. A narcissist won't meet your needs. He doesn't even know what your needs are. They're not on his radar screen. It's always about his needs, and it's your job, your life's work, every minute of your life, to meet his needs. He's never wrong, never, which means you're always wrong and you're to blame. He's only nice to you to look good, to you and to others, maybe the kids, and to get what he wants. It's never true concern for you. He has no empathy for you, zero compassion. You can be angry, you can be hurt, you can be upset. He could care less. That's your problem that you created. Has nothing to do with him. No emotional connection possible, and probably never going to be. And of course, he is incredibly critical of you in subtle ways, outrageous ways, in front of other people, in front of the kids, privately, whatever. He'll criticize your weight, your looks, your housekeeping, your mothering. You can't go to the grocery store and do it the right way. You're never good enough.
Welcome, beautiful butterflies, to Narc-Free Nirvana, a sacred space where we transform trauma into truth and pain into power. You are safe here and you are seen here, so let your wings unfold. In this space, we shine light on what the world often keeps hidden. What is a narcissist? How can you spot the subtle signs and toxic tactics they use? Well, we'll explore the roots of narcissistic personality disorder, the psychology behind their patterns, and the deeply damaging behavior of covert narcissists that often go unnoticed. But most of all, we'll journey inward to reclaim our peace, rebuild our spirit, and rise again. So take a breath, butterfly. You've made it here. Let's begin.
Narcissists are parasites. They are energy vampires that lack their own identity, so they hunt down empathetic victims to harvest their energy. Imagine having to wake up every day and put on a fake-ass mask to mirror and pretend to be the same people you're secretly envious of, because they have no personality outside of being evil and demonic. They need constant attention and supply to remain comfortable, and will go to extreme lengths to get that supply, whether it be good supply or bad supply. They will take the happiest, kindest, most good-hearted person and break them down to the ground. At the end of the relationship, that once happy, upbeat, confident survivor will be left feeling emotionally drained, depleted, depressed, used, and abused. Meanwhile, that malignant narcissist will leave the relationship basically up, emotionally up, financially up, completely just destiny swapped with you.
There are different types of narcissists, but let's talk about how to spot a covert narcissist. In my opinion, these are maybe the most dangerous ones because they are the wolves in sheep's clothing. These are the ones that slide under the radar. They fool you, they fool your family, and they fool your friends. A few key points before we go into this massive fucking list. These people do not live in reality. They live in a dream. Their whole objective is to gain and then maintain control. They're incapable of truly loving someone, and they look at romantic partners through the lens of how can this person benefit me? What can I get out of it? They take zero accountability and they are always the victim, and reality and truth are their enemies. Okay, so let's get into it. A lot of times these people have great social skills and they're very charming. They might be good conversationalists, but remember the agenda is to get in, get the hooks in, and trap. These people love to humble brag. Yeah, I did this, but It wasn't a big deal. And they will also put themselves down sometimes. And they do this through the lens of, I'm the victim, and also to elicit compassion and empathy from you. Yeah, I never went pro because I hurt my shoulder. I totally was going to go pro. They are hypersensitive to criticism and they overreact. Their response to any sort of criticism is disproportionate. They can get easily stressed and overwhelmed. Oftentimes they have zero boundaries with their family. And oftentimes there's a codependent relationship with the opposite sex parent. The rules do not apply to these people. They're the reckless drivers that speed and blow stop signs. They're frequently late because they don't respect your time or anyone else's time. This is why they can justify cheating in their mind. The rules don't apply to me. I can do whatever I want. They may have one or two close friends, but these relationships are not very deep, and in general, they just have superficial relationships with everyone. Their public image is everything to them. They're gods in their own eyes, and they are deluded by their own sense of grandiosity. This comes back to them living in a dream, not in reality. They are so deeply insecure, and they literally can't face it, so they gaslight themselves and tell themselves how amazing they are. A lot of times these people are pretty introverted and not super social, and they also tend to isolate themselves, and they might be homebodies. And this is because it's safer to just be alone. If they're out in the world is going to reflect back to them their own insecurities and their own sense of inadequacy, and they cannot face that. A lot of times they have escapist tendencies or hobbies: video games, substance abuse, corn addiction, gambling, and they have these unrealistic, grandiose fantasies. These are the people that live in their mom's basement, but they got a business plan, and once they start this business, they're going to be millionaires in the first year. They're usually avoidance or dismissive avoidance. Once shit gets hard, they can't hang. They're passive aggressive and indirect. They'll twist your words and turn you, the victim, into the offender. You'll have circular conversations. It's called word salad. This is where you feel like we've been talking about this for hours, but you're never answering these questions directly, and you just keep redirecting and bringing up the same things over and over and over again. And the whole purpose in that is to gaslight you, to employ cognitive dissonance so you get so confused, and then to make you tired so that you just give up. They feel entitled to punish you, and revenge is not enough. They need to go way above and beyond. Let's say you did something and in their eyes, you offended them, or maybe you did something that they didn't like or didn't approve of. They're literally going to think, I need to punish this person. I need to hurt them 100 times more than they hurt me. That's my right. They use intimidation as a tactic. That can look like a lot of things. Maybe they even raise their voice when they get pissed off. Maybe they make threats. And they also work really hard to change you. And that's because deep down, they want to feel like they're in control of you. They want to criticize you, break you down, and make you think like, if only I changed, then they would love me. If only I changed, then I would be good enough. In indirect or direct ways, they might tell you this. If only you did this, we wouldn't have these fights. If only you were this way, we wouldn't have these problems, or I wouldn't have to do this. And again, that's under the guise of control.
The narcissist is delusional. They can't deal with reality the way it is. They can't deal with you the way you are. And they can't deal with themselves the way they are. And that's why they created the fantasy world. Something happened in their childhood, something horrific, something awful for most of them, where they didn't have control. They didn't have power. They felt weak. They felt shame, deep shame. And because of all those things that were going on, they had to create this fantasy world. And in that fantasy world, they maintain absolute power and control. They yield to no one. The fantasy world is above you. It's above their children. It's above family. It's above God. The fantasy world dictates everything that they do. They maintain it at all costs. And so when they love bomb you, that love bomb was the beginning of a conditioning process. They were conditioning you to be able to control you. It's all about power and control. To be in a relationship with the narcissist is to be in their behavior modification program. They're going to condition you in such a way, train you, teach you, correct you, instruct you, so that you play the role that they've relegated you to. They've relegated you to a role to serve them and to make them the center of your universe. And when you step out of that role, then there are punishments, there's consequences, there's repercussions. And what they do to you to get you back in line, they stonewall you, they triangulate, they alienate, they use Darvo, they gaslight, they do all of these things, they dog whistle, And some of them even told you, I've been trying to teach you. Some of them said to you, I've been trying to train you. And that's true, because the whole relationship, you didn't know this, but you went into a silent contract that you didn't really know about, where you were supposed to play whatever role that they relegated you to. And they were the director. You were to take your cues from the narcissist. They were pretty much leading the way to this improv. It's like an improv, like a play that you're in, and they're kind of leading the way and giving you these cues and these clues to what you're supposed to say and do next. And if you start to step out of that and you start to think for yourself and you start to say, well, no, I think we should go in that direction, and you disagree with them, then their whole fantasy world is not what they need it to be. And they need it to be that because they absolutely refuse to face reality and deal with themselves as they are and deal with you as you are.
The worst archetype of man isn't the loud, cocky one. It's the sullen, slinky victim. The nice guy with a chip on his shoulder. The one who can't catch a break. The one who's still traumatized by what his ex did to him. Still fuming about being bullied in middle school. Harboring resentment towards women and the world. Waiting for someone to pay for it. Because make no mistake, these men may seem quiet, reserved, emotionally complex, but they're calculating. And if they had a hard time growing up, if they were overlooked, rejected, humiliated, once they finally get a woman, they're not in it to love her. They're in it to get revenge. Revenge on the type of woman that hurt him, the ones who didn't choose him. And if you're pretty, confident, and well-liked, you will be that stand-in. You're not a partner. You're a proxy for every woman who's ignored him, and he'll punish you for it. At first it's flattery, guilt-tripping, silent treatment, then sabotage, because it's not about you. It's about healing his bruised ego by dominating what once made him feel small. These are the covert male narcissists, seemingly mild-mannered, soft-spoken, and insecure. They'll come off as the sweet, shy guy that just needs love. But underneath that is rage and entitlement. They're wolves in sheep's clothing, and they always go for the type of woman that wants to heal them.
5 signs of a covert narcissist. Number 1, they will be extremely nice to you, almost too nice in the beginning, and often they will be really attentive to you and they'll try to be super helpful. But if someone starts acting like this right away, often they are trying to manipulate you or they want something from you. Number 2, they play the victim. All of their exes were the bad guy and did them dirty, or a lot of people have mistreated them, or they've gotten a lot of bad breaks in life and they emphasize this. Number 3, they will be passive-aggressive. Covert narcissists love to use tactics like the silent treatment to punish, manipulate, and control, or they will guilt-trip you when they don't get their way. Number 4, they will subtly fish for compliments by putting themselves down. And then number 5, they can be a completely different person in public than they are in private behind closed doors. In public, they can be super helpful and generous, but behind closed doors, that is where the mistreatment comes out.
Hi guys, let's talk about true narcissists because that term seems to get thrown around way too loosely. Not every mean or toxic person is a narcissist. Narcissism is a clinically recognized disorder, also known as MPD, and it goes way past than just being mean or manipulative. True narcissist has a pattern of behaviors, and I'm going to go over them with you. Number 1, lack of empathy. They'll never put themselves in anyone else's shoes or feel bad for them. I've noticed in a lot of my previous videos, there was a lot of comments of people sharing that they're in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it was their partner, a family member, or even their parent. And here's the thing, you cannot take anything personal with these type of people. With a narcissist, you are just collateral damage to the bigger picture that they're trying to paint. It's not about you, it's about them trying to maintain their control, image, and narrative. That leads me to number 2, manipulation. They gaslight, twist truths, and create chaos, stay in control, and then make themselves look like the victim. Number 3, they have an inflated sense of self-importance. They constantly crave praise and validation because they genuinely believe that they're better than others. This inflated self-worth will drive them to manipulate others in very sneaky ways. For example, they'll spread false rumors about what other people may think or say about you with comments designed to make you feel less than or doubt yourself. And lastly, let's talk about their fragile ego. Even mild criticism will feel like a personal attack to them, and they will lash out. It is important to remember that while narcissists can absolutely be abusive, not every abusive person is a narcissist. Some people are toxic, selfish, and cruel, but they do not meet the criteria for NPD. Sometimes they're just really shitty people.
Narcissistic personality disorder, 5 possible causes. Number 5, emotional neglect. When a child experiences emotional neglect, they may turn inward in order to cope. They learn to survive emotionally by soothing and pleasing themselves. This can lead to being self-absorbed, which is a key factor in the development of narcissistic traits. Over time, this self-reliance can manifest itself as selfish behaviors as the child grows. Number 4, genetic influence. Despite the emphasis on environmental factors, genetics plays a key role in the development of narcissistic personality disorder. Studies cited by Charlie Health indicate that the genetic influence of narcissism ranges from 33% to 59%. Additionally, a study in the National Library of Medicine estimated that NPD affects 4.8% of women and 7.7% of men. Number 3, excessive praise over achievements over character. When a child consistently receives praise solely for their accomplishments rather than their character, this can contribute to the development of narcissistic traits. The emphasis on values rather than outcomes teaches the child that success is paramount, whatever means necessary. This perspective may lead kids to start engaging in dishonest and manipulative behaviors such as lying, cheating, or whatever ways as long as they get what they want. Number 2, empathy is not taught. Parents who fail to encourage children to reflect on other people's feelings may hinder that child's ability to be empathetic. And when kids don't reflect on how their actions affected others, it's going to make it very hard for them to learn to genuinely apologize. So the lack of self-reflection leads to self-centered behavior. And number 1, societal influence. Society's reward system tends to favor people with narcissistic traits. Society emphasizes outward confidence, materialistic possessions, and achievements over values, character traits, and vulnerability.
Have you ever wondered whether you are a narcissist or not? Well, this video is going to tell you how to know if you are a real narcissist. And this is coming from someone that was raised by a narcissist, has a family full of narcissists, and have dated a ton of narcissists in my life. Well, when you clicked on this video because you've had guilt about feeling like you were being narcissistic, that was your sign right there, because never in the history of nevers has a narcissistic person ever had the awareness or the accountability to even wonder if they were being narcissistic to someone else. A person with a narcissistic personality disorder does not have the compassion and wherewithal to ever have a reflective moment of, hey, maybe I'm being a narcissist and I should change. What they actually do is they know that they're narcissistic and they count on other people's empathy to give them passes for their bad behavior. A narcissistic person would never try to psychoanalyze themselves to improve. A narcissistic person would watch this video to try to disprove that they're a narcissist. They will watch this video to justify things that they have done to possibly hurt, or most likely hurt, people that they are close to. The reason you probably think you are a narcissist is because you have been gaslit so long that you gaslight yourself, and when you finally stand up for yourself or have a human real reaction to something, you are wondering if you are being like your abusers. You are sitting there probably ready to give somebody an apology for something that you did for yourself. A narcissist would never. I remember I was having a conversation with this narcissistic person, and I thought that we were unpacking something together where we both were taking accountability for the role that we played in a situation. And I was very apologetic, and I was waiting for that person to say, you know what, I apologize for my role too. And what did they say? Nothing. They never had a thought in their head of their wrongness. I even danced around like trying to force them to actually apologize by being like, hey, well, I forgive you too. I just was like saying like, I forgive you, even though they didn't even mouth the words that they apologized. And they sat there quiet as a mouse, never once having a plan to take any accountability for the role that they played in anything. So even if you're dating someone and you're wondering if they are a narcissist, empathy and accountability are going to be your two test gauges. And I'm going to make a whole nother video. You could comment if you want me to make a video about if you feel like you've dated nothing but narcissists and what to do about that. But if you're constantly saying to yourself, I don't want to be narcissistic, 9 times out of 10, you're too empathetic. There's a such thing as toxic empathy. And you probably need to set stronger boundaries with somebody that is making you feel like if you stand up for yourself that you're a narcissist. Dealing with narcissistic people is the most mind-warping, exhausting merry-go-round of your life. Because they mess with your head so much through their covert abuse and gaslighting that you don't even know who you are and you can't even trust yourself anymore. Trust me, I understand. I've been there. I know where you guys are at. It took me years to be able to trust myself and believe myself when somebody showed me who they really were. Let this video be your sign to stop questioning if you are being a narcissistic person. Narcissistic personality disorder is a disorder. We're humans. All of us are narcissistic at some point because we are human. Doesn't mean that you have a disorder. Doesn't mean that something's wrong with you. Doesn't mean that you're the toxic one now. And the last thing that I'll say is there are a lot of neurodivergent characteristics, ADHD, and things that mimic narcissistic traits, but the intention is the difference between someone that is neurodivergent and someone that is a full-blown narcissist. So just always be running the things that I mentioned, through your head as you encounter people or as you evaluate yourself.
What a narcissist will never tell you. And if you haven't seen me before, my name is Jules, and I'm a narcissistic abuse survivor. I'm here to share my experiences and my story to spread awareness. So let's get into it. What a narcissist will never tell you. I will mirror you and pretend to be the best person you ever wanted in your life. I will fool you into trusting me. And once you're trauma bonded, you'll have no choice but to stick around and be addicted to me, and it will take you years to get out. And whenever you're close to leaving, I'm going to shower you with breadcrumbs. And during our hot and cold and wishy-washy moments, I will make sure to drain everything of you, including your energy, money, everything. And by the time you start to realize that you're in an emotional, abusive, manipulative relationship, you're already stuck. I am using you, and I will damage your brain and give you CPTSD, PTSD. And after I get bored, I'm gonna act like you never existed. I'll have fun with so many other supplies here and there and all my exes, and once I'm bored with them, maybe I'll try you again. All I gotta do is give you a little sob story or tell you how much I miss you, and you'll come running back because I know you'll never leave me. I create my own lies and believe them. I will never be accountable or responsible for anything that I do to you. I own you, and your purpose is to serve me. Stop telling me about how much I'm hurting you. I don't care about your feelings because it's not affecting me. But one thing I will make sure of is that you will never be able to treat me the same way I treat you. Because even if you come close, I will punish you. I will emotionally torture you until you cry, and you will be the one apologizing to me. And if you ever find the strength to leave me, I will put every single blame on you. Everything is your fault. You left the relationship, you broke the relationship, and you are the one abusing me because you are the crazy one.
Thanks for flying with me, butterfly. Remember, you are not broken. You're becoming. Today we uncovered what narcissism truly is. The red flags, the manipulation tactics, the roots behind the mask, and the quiet chaos of the covert narcissist. But awareness is the first step to liberation. So I leave you with this sacred reflection. What have you tolerated in the name of love that wasn't really love at all? I love to hear your thoughts in the comment section. And if this video resonated, please subscribe for more light, truth, and transformation. Until next time, keep rising, Radiant One. Your wings were never broken, only waiting. This is Goddess, your Narc survivor, and I'll be waiting for you in the next video. Peace.
I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up, I'm not gonna stop, I'm gonna work harder. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it, I will survive, keep on surviving. I'm a survivor.